The act of learning about intellectual works and of political books helps the people dismantle autocracies and dictatorships. Speech by DFR. There is great joy in living in a democracy. To be able to freely express your opinion and to have your voice heard and to organize politically and effect change to your local reality is exhilarating and brings deep and meaningful joy. Unfortunately, this joy is denied to 70 to 75% of the world population who live under dictatorship. One way that these people can resist is through learning in all the lawful ways possible within reach of them. One effective way to protest and lead the way to democracy is to learn more about the world. It's legal and safe, and there is many books and mediums of knowledge that is allowed to access still in many dictatorships that can help a lot in creating an enlightened citizenry. I know that people are often looking for an easy way to success, but that often does not work. But the hard things lead more often to success, as quoted by Navy SEAL Jocko Willink. Take the hard road. I promise the hard road is easier and shorter than the easy road. The easy road is longer and harder. There are many books and news sources that can give knowledge that can elevate a person to a place where they come closer to ending dictatorships. The enemies of knowledge fear thinking people. Dictatorships are not only afraid of weapons, they are afraid of books, of questions, of people who learn to think for themselves. History has shown that tyrants can't easily control the people who read, discuss, analyze, and organize. There's the reason that dictatorships have banned books, burned books, censored the internet, imprisoned journalists, and silenced teachers. That is why they want people to be afraid, isolated, and ignorant. Because learning creates something dangerous for authoritarian systems: awareness. When people learn history, they begin to recognize propaganda. When people learn economics, they begin to understand corruption. When people learn law, they begin to understand their rights. When people learn philosophy, they begin to ask, why must power look like this? And that question frightens every dictator. Knowledge does not make people perfect, but it makes them hard to deceive. An educated people can hold leaders accountable, expose lies, organize peacefully, build institutions, defend freedom. That is why education is not only a personal achievement, it's a political safeguard. That is why we must defend free education, free media, open debate, science, culture, and people's right to seek truth. Because in the end, the greatest enemy of dictatorships is not violence, it is a population that thinks. But any resistance movement must stay humble and be open to question their own side and be able to handle and tolerate complexity, lest they themselves become authoritarian. People can read classic work of non-fiction to become more intellectual and cultural. Reading is an act of quiet resistance. It expands the mind and lets you travel to different worlds and countries without physically having to go. Knowledge empowers. An educated mind cannot be enslaved. That's why they didn't let black slaves in America to read. Reading gives you structural knowledge of the world to encompass the authoritarian regime as a part of it, so you can come on top of it in your mind instead of it being all encompassing in your world. A reading and educated populace slowly chips away the authoritarian regime. With time, a lot changes if the population reaches further to achieve more in reading and education. So I say, reach further and reach for the heights of reading and education. Strive for more and be better. Be more ambitious of your reading and knowledge. Read more books and good news sources. Be critical of your reading and think more thoroughly and critically. Know that this fights dictators. It is so you can rise up and become emancipated. Knowing this makes reading more sweeter and satisfying. It becomes invigorating. Read books and news sources that are high quality and unbiased, and that are reviewed to be good. Books give you the tools and knowledge to overthrow authoritarian regimes. Books open up your world. Few things are more powerful than reading. Through reading, we can encounter minds greater than our own. We learn empathy from stories that let us live other lives besides our own. It teaches depth and reflection. You learn to question authority. It teaches the mistakes of others. Reading also strengthens imagination. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and follow for more content.